Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is Thursday. We're getting to the end of the week. In the States here, since it was Memorial Day on Monday, it is definitely a short week, I guess you could say, with a crazy twist. Hey, Robin, how you doing? Crazy, crazy. Just a crazy twist. The Trump information came out yesterday. It's the judge has used an old, what they call Jim Crow concept of finding somebody guilty. In other words, it doesn't take a unanimous, it just takes a slice. So, in other words, 4 people out of the 12, I think, can make them guilty. We're going towards Banana Republic at this point. It's definitely getting weirder and weirder, and I don't know if people are too comfortable with it. You know, they realize how bad this judge has opened the door to, racism and so forth. That's what the old Jim Crow's laws were set up to do, and it's really getting a little strange right now. So, I don't know. All I can say is basically is everybody is becoming more and more confused by the whole process, and I believe there's a federal law that says that they can't do this, but he's doing it, and so they need this headline. They need Mr. Trump to be labeled as a criminal, and if 4 people out of 12 say he is, then he's going to be. Strange, enormously strange. But anyway, that's where we stand. And let's see what's going on there. Let's make that bigger. There it is. And you can see we have the dollar index up on the screen on the beta. Let's scroll to the top. It is amazing that people want to buy the dollar, but you can see it's down today. Yesterday they popped it up. Today it's moving down a little bit. We're in a daily buy from yesterday. And I would assume because still have the green dot, we're probably in that daily buy today too. You can see here the weekly has really inched its way up to the edge. It's trying to get into that buy, into the weekly buy, but seems to have stalled. It's kind of stalled out at the moment. Let's go over to it right here. We'll switch platforms. And is that it? That is, yeah, that's it. There we are. Let me just give it a refresh. View, reload. There we are. And let's switch over to it at the same time. You can see the same thing as the beta. You see it's right there. You see that move that's going up. And it's pushing up here. And and then you can see it's rolled over a little bit there. The angle has changed. It's still in the buy, and the weekly is trying to lift up, but has not really gotten there. And you notice the fast even is kind of stalled out. And again, we've talked about this yesterday. We referred to it as transitory. The dollar is kind of transitory at the moment, just like the interest rates are transitory, and so. With that, I guess you could say in some ways it's crusty, or sticky. Yes, exactly. That's the ticket. Yes, interest rates are kind of sticky and transitory at the same time. Use some of the old hedge fund and Mr. Biden, Mr. Powell, and Miss Yellen's verbiage. All right, so there's the dollar index, and do we even have anything else to say about that? I don't really see anything particular. Again, we refer to it as sticky. Let's see if we can do this. Let's tighten that up a little bit more. We really thought it was going to get trapped in that range. It's like a head and shoulders, and that's the head, and there's the shoulder that matches this one right there. Maybe they're going to break it down to the 102 area. I guess when we have interest rates sitting still. Oh, wait a second. News has just come out, too. That's right. I think the GDP has come out. So we'll be seeing that in a few seconds. Let's go over to, let's take a look at the futures contract. So they've moved that there. The news came out right there. Let's just make that bigger. The GDP came out, and you can see that move right there. That's the strength of it. And then let's see it if we can find out what the numbers were. Should be coming up on the. It's probably been up on the television a few times now. We still haven't seen it. We were talking about how transitory everything was. Let's see, where's it at? Right. Not that. Newspaper. Working. That's not it. That's science. Trading. I'm trying to find where is it at? Newspaper. There it is. Okay. OPEC could jolt oil higher, confounding bearish speculators. Futures rates drop as Salesforce. Where is the GDP numbers? Let's put it up on here. Let's see what it says. This should be it. This is from the BLA. Huh. Should be popped out here somewhere. Bureau of Economic Analysis. Where are you? Let's go over to, let's see if I can get it off of Dukascopy. There we go. Let's do that. Today is Thursday. And there it is. GDP. Continuous jobs. Gross domestic product. Okay, what did it do? It looked like I clicked on it. They were looking for 1.3. Let me go back to it again. Why don't I see our chat line too? How come I'm not seeing our chat line? I did see Robin say hi. There's our chat line. Robin, have you seen the GDP? Let me go back to Dukascopy. Let's see. Where's that mouse at? Too many mice. Alright. And let's... This week, today. There it is. That's better. Okay, GDP in the United States... Just saw it. Gross domestic product annualized. Forecast is 1.3... And I guess it's still not out. I thought it had come out at 8:30. So that's a little confusing there. It's listed as 8:30. And I'm not seeing it anywhere. That seems odd to me. Let's try one more place. Let's see. Yeah, it's supposed to be out already. I don't understand. You can see the stock market at 8:30 jumped up right there. I mean, the S&P 500 went from where'd it go? From 65 to 75, basically 72. I guess it is right up there. We're around the 72 area. Let's see. The headlines are not even showing it. That's the weird part. There you go. Yeah, I could have sworn it.
Econoday.com hasn't posted.
It hasn't composed. Say it again?
It is posted.
It is posted.
Econoday.com.
Okay. And what was the number?
It says quarter over quarter 1.6. Consensus was 1.5. Range 1.2 to 1.6. Actual 1.3.
Okay, it is. That's it.
Consumption prior was 2.5, actual's 2.0.
Okay.
So they're a little softer.
Yeah. I can see the 1.3 forecast too on Dukascopy, so they hit it on the head. And I think tomorrow is another inflation number at the end of the month there. So
Okay, just wanted
no, that's good. I'm glad you rang it in. I wanted to know what it was, and I'm not seeing any headline at all. I guess all they're talking about is a crazy trial. I mean, everything's
I know
it's insane. So
that judge has to go to prison.
yeah, I know. That's what they call that. I understand something. I read something this morning. That's what they did with Jim Crow. That's how they made people guilty. So in other words, a jury didn't have to be unanimous.
Crazy rules.
Yeah, so they're going back to Jim Crow laws now to get Trump.
Idiots.
That's going to get him a lot more votes.
It doesn't. Nothing they're doing is working.
Nah,
Nothing.
nah, no.
Nothing. It's like continuing to sell the market that looks bullish as all.
Well, I think what they're hoping is if he's found criminally guilty, then some states are going to pull him off the ballot. I think that's their part of their objective too. Like New York State will say, okay, no, he's he's not worthy of being on the ballot or something like that.
Yeah, people will write them in.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the stupidest group of people, stupidest, most dishonest group of people I've ever seen in operation.
I know, it's crazy, just
They're
crazy.
stupid.
I know. Well, I got to jump.
Everything they do, they bring in an antique to scream and yell about. You gotta vote.
Yeah, I know. I wish they hadn't done that. That really hurts everybody.
Picture of his shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye. All right. So it was the 1.3 that Dukascopy was projecting, and I guess we're drifting down. I guess that's I don't know how, but they find a way when there's bad news. The Biden administration has been putting pressure on the internet companies, the different news sources, to not reflect it. So strange but true. It's unfortunately, you see, jobless claims rise near 8-month highs. So the economy is slowing a little bit here, and that usually makes the bond market and everything else feel good, because then they think, okay, they can cut rates. And there has been steady, consistent talk about the idea, what do you call it? The idea that any sign of weakness, should be a good reason to cut rates. So I guess let's see. That's. I mean, we have a very strange situation going on right now with the particular government controlling independent agencies. So it's just all kinds of strange noise. Things are getting a little weird here in America. I can tell you. You can feel it. The media doesn't know how to let it go at this point either. They're not sure what to say even. But people are very upset that a judge comes up with strange old Jim Crow laws that everybody worked to get rid of to attack a former president. Strange, very strange. All right, anyway, let's go over and take a look at, let's check it out. Let's see what the euro's doing this morning. And there it is right there. You can see the euro. They pushed it back into the sell yesterday. I think they pushed that into a sell, but they did not push the cable into a sell. And you can see it's popping back up again. And again, we're in such a transitory state at the moment with these, with everything. Interest rates, currencies, stock market, has this, there's been this, up until I think it's June 16th, there'll be $5 billion a day put into the stock market. So what is that? Between now and then, you're talking about so you're talking about 50, maybe 60, about $70 billion will be put into the stock market over the next, up until June 16th. which is all of next week and all of the following week, and that will and that's why we see that buying. And I'm not sure where that $5 billion is coming from, but that's been a story going around through Goldman Sachs and they've been saying that for over a month now that it has to go into the market. So I don't know if there's a reinvesting going on with a group of funds, trying to buy in the middle of the year type of thing where they try to get positions on, because most of the funds are underinvested. Let's see, gross domestic product. Okay, so that's where we stand with the what do you call it, the GDP, and it's dropping. I mean, we were at 1.6, now we're at 1.3. Things are slowing down, so that's obviously growth is the most important thing, and when you don't have it, you can feel it. It's not a good thing. All right, from there, so you can see right there. Let's see, let's go right there and like there. Let's put up the cable. See what the cable's doing this morning. Cable also did go into that daily sell. I could have sworn it stayed in the buy, but I guess not. And so what we have there now is both of these products have gone into the sells. Both of them are still in weekly buys. They're not, the broader trend, longer trend, is on the upside. And then from there we'll go over to Swiss. There's a Swiss, and the Swiss has been in a daily sell since here. Now that what's really happening is when the Swiss goes down in value, it's gaining against the dollar, and vice versa with the euro and the cable. When they go down, see, since it's a euro dollar pairs trade versus and a GBP. Where's the GBP at? There, I'll find it. GBP, there it is, way over there, dollar. Let's move that over too. And since they are first in the listing, so it's not dollar GBP, it's GBP dollar. Same thing as euro versus dollar, not dollar versus euro. Whereas when we look at, let's go back to the Swiss, let's save that too, like so. Save workspace. And then when we go back to the Swiss, you see it's the other way around. It's the dollar Swiss pairs trade. Dollar's in the front of it. Let's see if we can find the symbol. I thought we had it up on there at one time or another. Guess we haven't moved it in such a long time. All right, so let's just widen this out again. And you can see the sideways action. We just wound it out a year and a half. And so... let's see. Someone just texted. Let's see who this is. Nice picture. Thank you, Robin. And let's put this up on there, on the screen there. So this is really the USD. It's the other direction. That's why CHF, like that. There we are. And that's why when it's going down, it's gaining against the dollar. So what we have is we have a strengthening Swiss compared to a weakening cable and euro. Let's move that down, and you can see here the it's going back after its weekly again, which is very bullish for the Swiss. I would imagine that we have potential to. I don't know. It's not. At first I want to say it wouldn't surprise me if this thing fell into the 99s. I'm sorry, the 89s. Sorry about that, 89s. Especially with it trying to go into the weekly sell with those daily sells that we have going on now for the last 3 days. and they may be finding that they've done a pretty good job with a slowing European Europe, and a slowing United States. There's going to be less pressure on buying things. In other words, it's going to slow the economies, which is not exactly the best way to get out of a recession, but it is one of the ways to do it. It's one of the harsher ways. Let's put it that way. All right, and there is the Swiss. So from the Swiss, we'll jump over to the yen. Right there, there's the yen. And the yen, we saw yesterday, I couldn't find that article that said that the central bank, the Federal Reserve of the United States is going to probably help Japan out with the currency. So you can see here it's starting to roll over. And you can see the weeklies doing the same thing. So, maybe we're going to start seeing a little bit firmer pairs trades and a little more weaker dollar. Obviously, the politics is not helping it out right now. That's going to be, something that's going to be kind of shaking the. We've talked about this last week, where the markets were starting to sell off. Let's go to the S&P 500 on here. Right there. We were climbing and climbing because we have a lot of buying going on. We heard about it back in here, and it won't end until right here. But you can see now, the all-time highs of 5 days ago seem to be starting to drift off more. We've seen it when we go through the list of, all the indexes around the world. When we go into the Pacific Rim and we look at, like Japan and Korea, or South Korea and Taiwan and Philippines and Shanghai and Hong Kong and you see it as the Singapore Straits Times I don't think it was reflecting it as much, and you can see the Aussie was starting to back off the All Ordinaries Index, and did we even make it to the Nifty 50? Not sure. We've seen that flirting with all-time highs too. So, the markets have had a wonderful run. We talked about it yesterday. A lot of the markets are reflecting this reverse head and shoulders thing. There's the shoulder, there's the head, and there's another one, and then maybe they're going to come into here, down into this 5100 area when it comes to the S&P 500, and maybe start, bottoming and turning back up again. All right, let's go back to the pairs, and there's the Turkish lira. Turkish lira, it wasn't for the holiday that it would seem to be locked into the range there. We thought this was developing into a smaller range, and you can see here is a little flirtation. Even with it up for the day, we've got a red dot, and you can see the histogram is heading for minus. You see it's at minus 0.02. Well, and the green is at, yeah, that's right. And then the green is at 0.4. Both minus, but at the same time, the longer-term trend is still in the buy, and that is not backing away. It's looking very firm from there. So that does seem to be the classic recipe. We do believe a lot of this is, we think of the markets being trapped at the moment. Just a lot of trapped markets not being able to get a good, clean direction anymore. We think that they're just going to hesitate and go sideways for, I don't know, something like the next couple of weeks. And maybe months. It's hard to say. We'll have to see how they play it all out. But right now it has that flavor to it, like it's doing that. So, alrighty, let's go to. I guess they had the elections in South Africa yesterday, and you can see this moving up. I guess we should try to look up, just for interest's sake, how the elections went in South Africa. They may be tallying votes still. Isn't it odd? Google doesn't want to tell us about it. There we are. Elections in South Africa. Let's see. They were held yesterday to elect a new National Assembly, as well as a provincial legislation. Let's see. South African election results counting underway after pivotal poll. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. Early results ruling ANC short of. Okay. So it sounds like partial counts in South African election puts ruling ANC below 50% as country's census monumental change. Let's see. The fact that they're losing the currency is losing today says to me maybe these numbers are old. They haven't been able to resolve, and I don't trust AP to begin with. So early results. Let's see what that says. No, that's not it. Let's see. South African results counting underway after pivotal poll. Let's see. With the results from around 20% of the voting districts counted so far, the ANC is leading with a 44%, followed by DA, 25%. The radical EFF has about 9%. Well, that'll put it perfectly. Oh, let me see what they call radical. While the Umuka party, President Zuma, former President Zuma, got 8%. Interesting. Yeah, so they're going to have enough. They're going to have enough votes to have a coalition ANC government, and so that means that the country is going to be in. As last I saw the stats, we've seen some really tough stats. We'll go through it tomorrow, but since the ANC took control, the country has really just fallen apart. And it's too bad because, well, at one time it was a very strong industrial country. It's turning into a real issue. They have a homicide rate of 75 people a day. Crime is everywhere. 2/3 of the population now live in poverty. Wow. So the ANC has only brought disaster to South Africa. All right. Let's go back to the South African rand. You can see it up on the screen there. Obviously, major change is not coming. That's why we said it has a haircut going on. Or in this case, they're running a premium. And now the weekly, look at that weekly trying to turn up also at the same time. Not sure how well we'll be able to measure the metals complex from it. But normally that means gold would be going down right now. And you can see they took a big dip today from it. But now it's trying to perk up a little. You see we're flirting again with the weekly buy. This morning we had lost that. So it's back again. It's back over the zero line. And then from there, take a look at silver. Silver off the last couple of days, but still in the daily buy and the weekly buy. It seems like it's truly playing catch up. It's trying to get back to where it belongs situation. Where does it belong? So that's the silver. Let's take a look at copper. And there's copper. It's been in the daily sell for, this is the third day, and flirting with the weekly. This, I think, if anything, out of all the metals, I'm not sure how to interpret copper more than the fact that it seems to be a very major currency in China. So it seems like there's a lot of influence all the time. and it's hard to say how much the gold and the silver and so forth follow the what do you call it, the South African rand itself. All right. So from there, we will jump over to last one of all, and that is platinum. Let's see here. All right. There it is right there. And what else can we say about the platinum? Platinum's been, in some ways, it kind of reminds me of the silver. It's doing the same thing, holding firm, and in a weekly buy. And as we've said, we can think of this as one of the most dangerous shorts out there. In other words, if you're going to short metals, you'd be better doing it through the option derivatives, calls and puts. Binary, if you want, best conservative way, but overall, if I feel like there's going to be a reckoning coming one day with platinum, where it just, the shorts in there go, we've had it, gold is at $200 some odd dollars. I'm sorry, $2,000 plus, almost $2,400, and here we have platinum trading at $1,000.43. Somehow or another, it's hard to believe that's going to survive over time. Especially when you try to buy the physical. The physical just is never discounted to this factor. All right. From there, we're going to slide over to the energies. I understand that OPEC has come out and announced that they're going to float, I guess, 10 or 100 billion. I guess it's $100 billion of more stock in Aramco. So, that put some pressure on the. What was it? Mm-hmm. There we go. Let's see what we got here. Let's put the oil up there. Right there and right there. And you see, try to move down. We're back to 78.70. We played with the $80 area for a little bit. Still in a daily buy though. Truly curious there, and then we'll slide it over to see the same pattern on the beta platform right there. You see it's still in that daily buy doing the same thing. The weekly buy has leaped over the zero line on the beta, and it's trying to get into the buy for the week. It wouldn't surprise me if it did. There's some talk of a Zoom meeting with OPEC, and at the same time, they're trying to float $100 billion worth of bonds. You would think they'd try to keep the market a little bit tighter. In other words, try to influence to be up on the upside, not on the downside. Let's see. So, let's see what else can we say about that. I guess that's about it. And you can see on both screens. So now let's go over to, there's Brent. Brent looking the same way and climbing into the plus side by the hair of its chinny chin. And you can see they've been pushing them down for the last couple of days. So, that is the action as we see it. You know, when it comes to the energies, North Sea and West Texas Intermediate. Let's take a look at what natural gas looks like. There's natural gas. They've been selling it down for the last 4 days. Seems like a little gap thing going on there today. Let's check that out. Right there. Right there. And you see, is that today? I think that is. No, that's yesterday. So we go like this. Okay, so it's pressing down too there. It's again, that's. Oh, you know what? The June contract is probably gone. We just double check that. That's right. It should be July. I didn't realize I had June. I thought I had July in there. But I would assume that the contract expired. We'd go double check. Not there, not there, and not there. Let's see. Natural gas. Yeah, July is the front month now. That makes sense. I thought I had changed that. Let's do that. Let's switch it over. Nope. Add. Let's see. So that'd be N, like in Nancy. There it is right there. What's up with this? Let's see. I just had it. Let's see again. Let's try that natural gas one more time to get it into the system. There it is. Add. Okay. Close. There we go. That's better. That glide down. You can see that move yesterday in the 29. There's 30. There's today. What does this have here? Let's try this. On the beta, yeah, Now, I'm not sure where that gap has come from, but over here you can see there's no gap. So the pressure is still down on the natural gas. And then we go over to, let's try this. We'll shoot over to the energy company in Spain. See, with the way this action's going, they should be just underneath the 25 area, going into the 24s again. Let's put that up on the screen. And there it is right there. That's that natural gas company down in Spain. And you can see the pressure on it for the last couple of days. And it was in a cell yesterday. And obviously with the red dot, it's more than likely still in that cell right now. And that pressure doesn't seem to be being alleviated. And you can see here, 10 weeks of lots of buys. We have that same way on our main platform, where it's been in weekly buys now for over 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. On the beta, which is interesting, is it's been in a weekly buy for 10 weeks. And coming down on the edge now of trying to get into that sell before tomorrow, as it closes out the week for tomorrow. And then, did I show you Brent? I thought I did. But let's go back and double check Brent again right there. And you can see it's doing the same. Oh yeah, I mentioned it. It's very, just on the edge of getting into that weekly buy, the Brent. All right, so that takes care of the energies and the metals complex. That pretty much moves us away from those two and starts to push us into the direction of, let's see now. Let me do this too. I'm going to take this and save this. There we are. There it is. Yes, all taken care of. And let's save that. Make sure we don't lose it. Save workspace. There we go. Save. Ta-da! Yes. All right, now I guess we'll go take a look at, if there's no questions, we'll go, I just want to take a look at the stock market real quick, and then we'll go from there. See what they're doing with the stock market. Right there. And pretty much since the number came out, it was at the 63, 64 area. And now we are at the 65 area. So it's drifting down again. There doesn't seem to be a lot of conversation about what the Fed can do at this point. Now let's go over and take a look at the Nikkei. Right there. And you can see the Nikkei, it's been down for a few days. And today's the second day in a sell easily. And you can see it's been something like, what's that, 4? That's 5 out of 6 days now in a daily sell. And you can see on the weekly, so we emphasize that, sell, it's flirting with a buy at the moment. You can see that there. It's trying to climb into the buy there yesterday. And I imagine with that nice big drop we've had over the last three days, let's redo that again. There it is right there. With that drop the last 3 days, I imagine that the weekly is going to be reflecting more in the negative again tomorrow. From there, we'll take a look at South Korea right there, doing the same exact thing. And you can see this has been in a weekly sell for 10 weeks. So as much as they took it down and lifted it up and then took it down again, it's been feeling the longer term trends trying to tell us, no, the guys, don't be so bullish. And you can see here the daily. I mean, back in April 9th, oh, I'm sorry, that's May 9th, went into a daily sell back in here. So it's been in the, let's try this. It's been in the sell from that area. And it's been sideways up, then broke down and tried to climb again and failed. And now you see that pressure even more. Go over to Taiwan. Boy, looking at that Nevada and the way that stock moves, it's just incredible. But you can see there, this is the home of fantastic computer chips. The Taipei index there, you can see it's down the last couple of days, starting to feel a little pain. I don't know, it's just, you can see it's been in a weekly buy. It doesn't look like it's going to go after the weekly sell this week, but we'll see how tomorrow it brings from there. And then we jump over to Shanghai, see what they're up to. There it is right there, the Shanghai index. Still showing that pressure on it. You see, yesterday it was a little confused. It was in the, it was above and below the zero line, and it was in a red dot at the same time. Oh no, actually, it was in a green dot. I'll just show you the way the week is played. There it is right there. We tried to lift up. It was just barely up for the day, so it couldn't make up its mind. And you can see here, the weekly is pressing down. So we're seeing pressure on a longer term basis now. And especially with the action we're seeing today with this move down, it's going to put more pressure on both the daily and the weekly to be into the negative, not the positive. From there, we jump across to the Philippines. We kind of zigzag our way down. You can see, looks like to me, 3 days in a daily sell. And we have 2 full weeks in a weekly sell. And the Taipei is down in the 6,400 area from the 7,000 area. So it seems when everybody went into that rampaging roar to all-time highs, it seems like they're slowly unwinding or giving it back, pretty much. That's what it feels like and looks like, is that they're slowly, internationally, things are moving in the opposite direction. Let's see what the Hang Seng looks like. There it is. See there, it's been down for the last couple days, and it's the second day now on a sell. But we had that green dot, so it makes it a little tough there. And we had green dot, then green dot, but down. And this was unchanged. And this one, that's today. They're pushing down on it more, and you can see the histogram just barely above the plus. 90% of it's below the minus, and at the same time you can see that weekly seeing the pressure. All right, and that's the pressure we're seeing on the Philippine market. And that's the Hang Seng. That's right, we did the Philippine market. That's the Hang Seng, and then we jump across to Singapore Straits Times, STI. Where's STI? There it is right there. Now that is interesting. They don't seem to want to give up there at all. That's 3, that's 6. This is the 8th day in a buy. And you can see we have been in 8 weeks in a buy. So for Singapore Straits Times, which was always that interesting trading place, when Japan is rolling along and trading aggressively, and Singapore seems to be also very consistent, and Singapore seems to be a wonderful, like the old New York City in a sense of Asia, whereas Hong Kong used to be the New York City of Asia. Now it seems like Singapore is. All right, and then from there we go over to the All Ordinaries. You see that we've been pressing down on that from the 81.75 area. Now we're trading in the 7,900 area, and you can see there is a consistent 6 days now in a sell with that slide here. You can see the weekly is just underneath by a hair right there. All right, and then let's see the Nifty 50. It rolled over too. It's the 3 days in a sell, but holding up on that 3-week buy still. It'll be interesting to see how they play it out. I mean, that looks pretty deep with that low there. So it's going to get very, very close. You can see the blue is trying to break down, but it has been staying above the green line. There's still a little strength hiding in there. And you can see it's in many ways. I'm looking at this, and it kind of reminds me of the three peaks in a dome. And these may be the peaks, and then that might be the dome building. And maybe it's so hard to believe with the next 6 months of politics in the United States that money is not trying to get back in on some level. And so in this case here, the Nifty 50, you would think that money would be running towards it, not running away from it. We'll see. But I would think the Nifty 50 will benefit enormously from Mr. Trump. All right, so now let's go to the DAX. There it is right there. And there's the DAX. You see the DAX is 3 days in a sell. And the weekly is not. What's interesting is the fast is underneath the zero line last week and this week. That's interesting. If they start putting more pressure on the DAX, it could really push it down to the edge of the weekly. But right now, I would be very surprised because you have to imagine this part, this right here. Let me just emphasize it. This right here, yesterday is in there already now into the weekly. There's the 29. So and then this is flat to up, still in a sell for the day. So I don't think we're going to see much weakness from the weekly. There it is right there. There is the, look at that. This is the French. See, it's flirting with the weekly buy. But what a smash that is, huh? Just taking that thing down. Such a pressure point. Just such a pressure point. What else can we say about any of this? I guess that's about it when it comes to the French market, but they've taken it back down to the April lows, which is a little surprising. Then from there, we'll jump over to the FTSE. And the FTSE's been doing the same thing. I mean, we've been in a daily sell now on that for, what is that? There is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. So 9 days now on a sell. Now, today, you can see FTSE is pushing. We still have the FTSE open for another couple hours, but it's still pushing up for the day. And you can see that weekly doing those flirtation with the, it's just on the buy side, just by a hair. 0.85 on the buy side. And then we'll give it a quick look. I have to come up with a title today, too. I haven't even thought about the title. I just, just the whole marketplace seems to be really, really lost. It really does. It has that feeling of, just, like, it just from all the talk on all the channels, I've been roaming them all. They really don't know how to even interpret this going on. And so, I guess today's market. Let's put the intraday up there again for the S&P 500. Right there, you see it's bounced off that 65 area and it's lifting up. And then we can go like this to let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there on the beta. And it's, let's see. So the weekly, last week, the beta closed in a weekly sell. Let's just show you that. right there. That's last week's close, and this is this week. So the beta is definitely heading into the sell. The S&P 500, no. And the Tech 100, no. But the Dow Jones is feeling the pressure out of this whole move on the downside. So, all right, this is Doc from North America. We will catch you all tomorrow on TGIF, and we'll see how the news is, if Mr. Trump is in jail or not. It'll be crazy. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Catch you on the flip side tomorrow. Ta-ta for now.